Welcome back to Diving Into Watches. And we've got a really good review for you today. We're going to be taking a look at a watch by a company that is solid in the dive community. Almost all their watches, and I'm probably going to give away the name as soon as I say the line, the Promaster series, are all ISO certified rated, highly used in the diving community, and also used in the military community, depending on who you talk to. There's all kinds of different things. I've had Citizen and I wore it a lot while I was on active duty for 21 years. And then I have other watches that I use. But this particular Citizen Promaster that I came across is one that I haven't seen ever. From my research and looking at getting this watch and trying to find the watch, it appears that, and people can correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, uh, this one is available only in the Japanese domestic market, or JDM. I did get it through Amazon, but it did come from a Japanese dealer, authorized citizen dealer in Japan. So it was imported, to do the whole process to get it over here. It is not available in Joma Shop. It is not available on a lot of places you go to on the web. And most of the places you go to find it, it is going to link you or take you to directly to a JDM dealer in Japan. So you're going to have to send it from there. I don't know why it's not readily available in the US. And if it is, I couldn't find it, but I'm sure someone in the comments is going to tell me they found it. But in the last couple of weeks when I was looking for this watch, I could only find it in the JDM market. And that watch is, and I have to write it down because it's got a long nomenclature, is the Citizen Promaster BJ711-86L. And it is part of the Promaster series line. It is an Eco Drive watch, but the uniqueness of this one is the color and also that it is a titanium watch. And this is my first titanium watch. I never really understood the debate about, a lot of people really like titanium watches, a lot of people don't like titanium watches. Now I can truly understand is the weight of titanium is so ridiculously light that you don't even really feel that the watch is even on your wrist, and so it kind of has it can kind of have a cheap or a low quality feel to it, like a really inexpensive watch. But knowing full well that it's titanium, I think it's a grade 2 titanium. I couldn't get a lot of specifics on it. Even when you go to Citizen's website for the US, it doesn't even list this watch. I had to go through Amazon, and I had to go to, you can see over my shoulder, I had to go to Sakura Watches, which is an authorized Citizen dealership in Japan, and look up some statistics on it, get some information on it. What I really loved about it was that blue and white dial, and then also it's a GMT. Not only is it a GMT, it's a true GMT. It's a Traveler's GMT. And for those of you who don't know, many of you probably do, but those that don't know, Traveler's GMT will only move the hour hand, so that when you get into the country you're going to, all you have to do is just change the hour to local hour, not the minute hand. A office GMT, or I think they call it a collar GMT, which is like the Seiko SKX 003 is the one I have. Both hands will move to set to the current time, not just the hour hand. So it makes it much easier to adjust when you're going in and out of time zones. And the GMT hand is really, really nice. And we'll get into a real in-depth review on the bench, taking a look at up close and how really nice this watch is. But love the watch, fascinated by the watch. I have probably have 4 or 5 Citizen watches right now, and they're all ProMaster ISO certified dive watches that I absolutely love. My oldest is almost 25 or 30 years old, that I wore when I was first on active duty. It is not an Eco Drive. That one is an actual course watch, but this one, like all my other ones, these are the Eco Drive watches. And if you don't know, which many of you probably do know, the Eco Drive is a solar powered watch that has a transistor, charges that transistor, and that transistor can last upwards of 18 years. I did a review, and I'll put it in the link down below, on my Citizen chronograph that was an Eco Drive, and just had to replace that transistor this year after about 15 or 16 years. So what makes it really, really cool about these types of watches, Eco Drives, is you can just not put it on forever and then bring it up, put it on, it's good to go. These can stay upwards. I've read many things from Citizen and other places, that in the dark they can go uncharged for up to 6 months, where that makes it really awesome. But I typically keep mine on the counter in the bathroom on a stand I have, so it's always getting light with the other 2 Eco Drives I have, so that they're always charged and ready to go. One of the unique features on this one that's on my other 2, my Aqualand and my oh gosh, I can't think of the name now. Calibrate 2100 is that they both have a charge indicator on them, and this particular EcoDrive does not have a charge indicator, so you really never know where you're at on the charge, which I thought was interesting. But we'll get into some little cool quirks on this one, as far as like the magnifier being under the glass, like the bull of a devil diver, etc. But this is definitely a watch you want to check out if you're into Citizen dive watches, you're into the ProMaster line, and you're into those ISO certified ones. And if you're really interested in getting a titanium watch, this is a great one to get, because it is, not hugely bulky, but it is a dive watch. It is a GMT, so it's going to have a deeper face, so it can have 3 hands, four hands going. The two, the hour, the minute, the seconds, and the GMT hand moving, so it's a little bit deeper than a normal dive watch. But having it in titanium makes it really, really comfortable to wear. I'm still on the fence on the whole titanium. I like to feel the heft. Doing a wristwatch check, I have my Bulova Lunar Pilot, probably the best watch that Bulova makes. I am getting ready to do a video on why the Bulova is better than the Omega Speedmaster. 3 reasons why. I'm sure I will upset a lot of the Omega fanboys. That's okay. I'm prepared for it. But my 3 points are very, very valid points, and I will definitely cover those in that video. But that is what I'm wearing today, my Lunar Pilot by Bulova. Excellent, excellent watch. Absolutely love this watch. But getting back to the Citizen watch, on the fence on the titanium thing. It's so light on your wrist, you don't even know it's there. And I don't know, a lot of people like me, I like to feel the watch. I like to kind of feel that heft. So I'm on the fence as far as the weight, but as far as the wearability, the comfortability, comfortability, how comfortable it is an incredible watch to wear, and just a joy to wear. I've really enjoyed it. I really like the color. I know it comes in a few other colors. The GMT one, I think there's a black one. I don't know if there's any other color besides the blue and white and the black. Someone put in the comments to tell me if there are different ones, but this is one that you're definitely going to want to check out, especially if you're looking for a GMT. I think this was under 500 or right at $500. So from what I've seen from titanium watches and in a GMT watch, a true GMT, not a traveler's GMT, not an office GMT, $500, $550 for a true GMT in titanium is an excellent price. I don't think you can go wrong with that one. So without further ado, let's go over to the bench and let's take a look at the Citizen EcoDrive ProMaster Divers 200 millimeter GMT in titanium. Okay, here is the Citizen EcoDrive GMT. A little close-up view here. Just adjust that a little bit more. You can see that it is a blue face that kind of has a sunburst style to it. Try to keep those lights out of there from hitting on it. Then it has an inner minute ring, and then it has the 24-hour for the GMT laid inside, versus a lot of GMTs that'll be on the outer ring. But this also has the dive bezel, timer bezel on the outside, which is an aluminum dive bezel in blue. So you got the contrasting blue and white with the typical pointer, not sword, I would say, but hour hands in white with lume, and then you have the orange tipped GMT hand, and then the seconds hand carries the same tip as like the hour hand does. Before I get into further details, let's go ahead and knock out the dimensions of this one. It is 43 millimeters case size. It is 22 millimeter lug width, so it is a strap monster. You can change these straps out. I don't think I'd ever take this off this titanium strap and put it on a rubber one like it's on my Aqualand. I would just keep this one on the titanium strap. And the thickness is 13.8 millimeters. So it's not overly thick, but it's a little thicker than the other ones just because of that GMT, and you have to have those multiple hands. One of the cool features is it does have a small magnifying over the date. That magnifier, like the Bulova Devil Diver, is under the glass. So you do not have it sitting on top of the glass, which is very nice. This is a sapphire glass with anti-reflective coating, 200-meter dive watch. You have your screw-down crown, and then you have your titanium case. It's not really a brushed, well, it's a brush case. It's not shiny. Even the band is all titanium also. So that makes it very, very nice. You have applied indices all the way around with the, I can't remember what they call this type of 12-hour marker here. And then you have the date at the 3 o'clock, and it also has a loomed pip just to the left, just to the right of the date marker, and the loomed pip at top. you have the Promaster logo on the side of the screw down crown. The way the screw down, you pull it out. First one is going to change the date one way. I think it's clockwise, and then counterclockwise will change. Um, uh, Normally, we'll change the GMT hand, but the way you do it is you pull it all the way out and you rotate the hour hand. You rotate your time till you get your GMT to the time you want to keep it for wherever it's at. So I'm keeping this one on a California time, and then you change your hours after you've done that. Then you will change you'll take it and you'll change the um, hour hand to the local current time, so it doesn't move the GMT hand. So it's a little bit different than like a office GMT, where you'll the turn one way will set the date, the other way will set just the GMT, and then you set the hour and hand just like a normal hand watch. So that makes it very, very nice to set for a different time zone. All you have to change is the hour hand when you arrive wherever you're at, whatever country you're going into, and not mess with it. The case back is your typical Citizen case back. It's a screw down case back with the nomenclature, the serial number, the movement number, etc. on it. And then the bracelet is all in titanium. It has a safety clasp with dual push button deployment and a milled base titanium clasp. So the entire thing, even the clasp, is all titanium. It's extremely light. It is a pin and collar system, but something that's interesting about adjusting it, when you take it apart, when the pin comes out, on one side is a little bit larger hole than the other side, and there is a round tube piece of metal that slides in there that causes the friction hold of the pin. So when you're sizing this out, if that drops out, the pin will not stay in, it'll stay loose. So you'll have to be very careful when you're making adjustments. When that little tube falls out, you have to put it back in and then push the pin back in to size it up. As your typical push from left to right. You have your three increment settings here, so you can get a pretty good adjustment on it. It does not have, and I verified, it does not have a diver's extension on it, but that's not a huge big deal for me, as I don't do any diving. I'm strictly pool and surfing. If I was diving, I'd probably only do it when I was on vacation somewhere where it's warm, like Hawaii, the Bahamas, or somewhere like that. I don't want to put a big old heavy wetsuit on it. It is sizable. The pins are all adjustable all the way up to, even though it shows, that just gives you the direction, these pins are all removable all the way up. So you could size this down very, very small. This is sized down to my 6¼ inch wrist. It is male end links. The end links are milled titanium. So you are just getting a super high caliber, super well built watch, all in titanium, for less than $550. And it's a true GMT, which is just absolutely incredible watch. Absolutely just loving this watch. As I said earlier, I'm still on the fence on the weight of this titanium watch, which is just insanely light. If you ever want really cheap watches, you'll know what I mean, where they're just really fake feeling and cheap. I can see why people kind of have that issue about the weight of the watch, but I think the more I wear it, the more comfortable I'll be with it. I don't know how well it's going to hold up to scratching. You can see that it's not scratched on the clasp at all right now, and I've been wearing this for about a week, and it's holding up very, very well. I know that I think grade 5 is the most scratch resistant, and grade 2 is the lower of the grades. But I do see the appeal of the titanium watch as far as weight goes, especially when you're going to get a heavier, thicker dive watch. The bezel is typical Citizen. It's an excellent bezel, coin edge bezel. The movement is very, very simple, very, very easy. Very easy to turn, no issues whatsoever. QC with the Citizen is perfect. The bezel lines up perfectly at the top, right at the 12. I just went one click too many there. So it's very, 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 very easy to use. Cannot complain about it at all. See, I just went one more too many times there again. There we go. So I have zero complaints on this one. Probably the only complaint I got was when I got the watch and I opened it up. Everything is in Japanese. You can see it says ISO 200-meter GMT, all in Japanese. The instructions are all in Japanese, so I could not. At first, it was confusing how to set the GMT on this one. So I had to go on a YouTube video and find out how to set it. But once I learned how to set it, because I'm used to setting the Seiko SSK 003, which is completely different than setting a Traveler GMT. But once I did that, I was extremely happy with it, and it was easy to set, and then I understood it. So again, folks, I just have no complaints on this one other than maybe just the feel of how titanium is. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on, the pros and the cons of it and how people feel about it. If anybody has this watch, tell me how well it's held up over time. Tell me how the scratches have held up. Does it scratch very easy? I've never had a titanium watch, so I don't know how well this is going to wear. But let's get a lume shot real quick to see how let you see how the lume works. Okay, here you can see the lume on the Citizen GMT. It is excellent. It shows up very, very well. You have the lume on the pip at the 12 o'clock, and then you have the lume on the numbers inside, and then you also have the lume on the seconds hand, and then right next to the date window. The lume is very, very good. I could not tell from the websites that I was on if it was Superluminova Bright or the CG3G, whatever they call it. But as like Seiko and Citizen, their lume is always very, very good, and you can tell just from the light in the room, it's glowing very, very well. I did not even hit this with my UV light, so very, very happy with the lume. When you're out in the sun all day, then you come inside, it's going to glow a long time and be very, very, very excellent. Just that blue and white is, I just think, just really, really cool. All right, so there you go, folks. I don't have any moans or niggles on this one. It's just an excellent watch. I love Eco Drive, even though I'm not a fan of quartz. I do love the Eco Drive. I do have some quartz watches. I'm a big automatic guy, and I'm a big dive watch person. When I saw this one, I did some research on it and just absolutely fell in love with it. I just thought it was unique, something different to Citizen. The other thing, as I said earlier, on all my other Eco Drives, there is a power indicator to tell me how much power reserve I have left on the capacitor. On this one, there is no power reserve, so I have no idea how charged the capacitor is versus it not being charged. So other than that, that's not a huge deal to me because I get it. It's going to get enough sunlight that it'll always be fully charged. But I always thought it was kind of cool having those power reserve indicators to tell you how well it was doing. So without further ado, let's go back over to the studio and I'll give you my final reviews on the Citizen EcoDrive GMT Divers 200mm in titanium. All right, there you go, folks. There is the review of the Citizen Promaster GMT in titanium. As you can tell from the bench review, it is a top-notch watch, highly quality watch. I cannot recommend this watch enough. I think it's a fantastic watch. I have zero complaints about this watch. There's no issues I have other than, just not used to wearing a titanium watch and feeling like not having anything on my wrist as compared to something else in 316 stainless steel. You're going to feel that bulk on it. It does not wear like a 43. It feels and weighs much, much smaller. I don't think I mentioned it on the bench, but the lug to lug is 49 millimeters and it wears very, very well. I did not do a wrist shot, so let me throw this watch on real quick and we'll do a quick wrist watch and see how it looks. You can see it fits very, very comfortably. It's not overly sized on my wrist. It fits very, very well. It's not bulking. It's not hanging over the edges. The lug to lug is very, very nice. Zero complaints whatsoever on this one at all. Again, I just took that Bulova off and it's incredible how this one feels in its place. It felt like I took that watch off and I put nothing on. So again, I don't think you can go wrong with this watch. Give me your opinions. Do you have this one down here? Do you have other watches in titanium? Do all titanium watches really feel this light? I would definitely want to explore more titanium watches down the road. I never really touched on many of them because the price points on titanium really kicks up a watch, anywhere from $150 to $200. And some of them, the bracelets aren't titanium. Where this watch, not only the watch, but the bracelet, the clasp, the safeties, everything on it is all titanium. So that was just a really cool feature. Citizen, again, just knocks it out of the box with this one. I can't not find this in the U.S. and a domestic market. As I said, I had to go JDM. So let me know if you picked one up in the U.S. Did you buy one here? Or is this just a true JDM watch that you have to get overseas? Hey, again, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys had a great Turkey Day yesterday. I want everybody to stay safe. Thanks for watching. hit that subscribe button, give us that like button. We continue to grow. We're bringing you more and more great watches. We are definitely going to be bringing you some interesting watches next week. Probably going to be doing the review on the Bulova Lunar Pilot and the 3 reasons why it is better, in my opinion, than the Omega Seamaster. I know I'm going to start some controversy, and those keyboard bandits are just going to be ripping me apart on it, but I think my 3 points are valid, and I think when you see the video on that one, I think you're going to agree. But thanks for watching. Everybody have a great holiday weekend. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you again next week. And I'm diving into watches, and I'm out.